Rick, George at Big 12 Media Days. Back in the Big 12. Welcome back.
Back in the Big 12. We're excited about it. It's going to be great.
Love it, man.
It's great to have you, Rick, man. This is long overdue. And I feel like, we have to start by just saying thank you. I mean, all the different moves that you've made to make us be right here at this time, man. It's been impressive, and congratulations on all the success you've had.
Thanks. I'm just excited to go back home where I started. Back in the '80s and late '80s, early '90s, with Bill McCartney being in Colorado and being in the Big 12 and. Coming back home is the way I kind of feel about it. Is it's a great place for us to be, and it really is going to bode well for our future.
I saw the logo, the Big 12 logo, finally on the jersey, and I was like, man, that just feels right. When you think back to those days, of the Big 12, what do you remember, and what kind of excites you about getting back to this conference? At least from a football perspective.
Well, look, I think the fans every game that we'll play. In football, men's basketball will be packed. Yep. And so playing in front of packed crowds is something that, when we used to go to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and, the crowds were always huge. And that's how it's going to be. I mean, all these stadiums are sold out. I mean, and then you go into the basketball gym, and this conference has evolved to be the number one basketball conference in the NCAA. And to play in that and play in front of packed gyms when we go on the road, it's going to be exciting. And I know that, based on my peers in the Big 12, that they're going to travel. Their fans are going to come to Boulder. They're not going to be able to get tickets because they're all going to be sold out. Actually, we went on sale this morning with student tickets, and
I'm sure
they'll be sold out pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, that first game last year against TCU is kind of a little bit of a taste of what's to come with coming back to the Big 12.
Yeah, it is. And look, I just talked with the UCF athletic director this morning, and he was telling me they're sold out for our game that's there. And, every game that we go to will be sold out. And, that's a lot of fun to have the experience of playing in front of that. And it'll prepare us for the bowl or the CFP playoff later in the year, because I think our expectations are pretty high about what we're going to do this year.
Yes, sir. Let's start with Coach Prime. I mean, since you brought him here, all he's done is rave about the relationship that you were able to build with him. Where do you guys stand now, entering year 2? Like, how far down is that relationship gone?
As of an hour ago, we're good.
Yeah.
No, he's great. He does what he says he's going to do. And, a lot of people were surprised the way he went about the roster changes and the different things that he did. But that's what he told me in his home. He told me, here's what I'm going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. In time, it'll change. But he's delivered on what he said he's going to do. And the thing I love about it is his guys are disciplined. And I know discipline with character is a really important trait for him. But, to have our best GPAs in our history in football under his leadership with the guys that have transferred in and out, it says a lot about, what his objectives are. And the football stuff is all going to be there. And, I'm kind of with him. Last year was the hope year, and this year's an expectation year. And we expect to be really good. And look, I love what he's doing, and I love how he's doing it and the way he's developing young men. And that's what it's all about, being a head coach.
I'm kind of a big believer that college football is all about windows. You get, time to strike when the iron's hot, and, when you have a big senior class or you have, a great senior quarterback, and it feels like this is one of those windows. Also, you have seen firsthand what a championship football team looks like. Do you think that this team has what it takes?
Yeah, I do. And again, last year, we went from 1 wins to 4 wins, and we were in every game. I mean, almost all of them were one-score games, other than Oregon and I think Washington State. And so this year's different. We've got depth, and I think last year was really helpful as we were looking at our roster. But going into this year, we knew exactly what we needed. We knew what kind of depth we needed. We knew what kind of edge rushers that we wanted. And, having Pat Shurmur and a Rob Livingstone is going to be a superstar in this business as a defensive coordinator. And so I think having both of them, as our coordinators, I think is really good. And I love the way Deion does it. He coaches, but he also lets those guys do their thing. And they've got talent. I've seen them work out this summer, and it's going to be a really good football team.
Just going back to when you were talking about Coach and how he kind of does what he says and what he does with the players, not just on the field but off the field. Lots of things have been said off the field, about this program over this offseason and stuff. Just your reaction when you hear those things, because you see the interactions that he has with these players on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, look, I mean, Deion, he treats the players the way they want to be treated. And I think the players have a ton of respect for him because he does what he says he's going to do, and he holds them accountable. And that's part of it. If you talk about accountability and you don't hold them accountable, that's when, you get guys that kind of get off the reservation a little bit. And, he's really done a great job of engaging and interacting with these guys. They've bought into where he wants this program to go. And I don't pay attention to all the noise. If I paid attention to all the noise, that's all I'd do. And, look, I say it this way. It's you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between.
Right.
And we got more that love it than hate it. But those that want to talk about negative things, they're going to do it, and let them go. Because I know what we have, I know what we're doing, I know how we're doing it, and I feel really good about where this program's going.
Love it.
You've got a sweet new toy at Folsom Field with the new
oh, God, my
video
goodness,
board.
that video board. I was sitting in my office, and I didn't realize that they had turned it on, and I'm on the 5th floor, and I looked down south from the end zone, and I looked out there when they had this thing going. I mean, it was like I was 5 feet away from it. It was picture perfect. I mean, it's unbelievable. Wait till you see that board. I mean, I can sit there and watch the Masters golf tournament. I'm going to tell them to turn it on during the day. There's so many things you can do with that. The other thing that's awesome about that is, one, we haven't seen the ribbon board on yet.
Right.
But, I mean, it's gonna change the atmosphere in Folsom Field. And then on the backside, I mean, we can message people. They can watch the game. If you can't get in the game, tailgating on Colorado Boulevard and sit out there and drink your beer and watch the game on TV because you're not going to get that good of a screen at home.
I was thinking it would be cool for all the students that want to go, for the ones who can't get in, to be out there and kind of have like a little party out there while they watch. Also, I was going to ask if Jake and I can play the new college football video game on the screen.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Hold you to that.
This thing, I mean, seriously, this board is off the charts. It really is. Our fans are going to love it, and I'm glad that the regents, the chancellor, and the campus really supported us on this endeavor.
That's awesome. Of course, I have to ask, what's next when it comes to upgrading Folsom, and what are your plans for that?
Yeah, look, I mean, our focus right now is to focus on what's ahead on what college athletics looks like, and we're focused on that on because everything the NCAA's historically done, we've met that moment. If you think about unlimited meals when that came out, if you think about full cost of attendance, then you got the Alston. We've always participated at the highest level, and that's what we're going to do at Colorado. What we're doing now is saying, okay, here's the goal. Now, how are we going to get there? And we're working through that. And fortunately, we have a year to get that figured out. But I feel really good about what that's going to look like moving forward. But that's kind of where we're focusing our energy right now is, figuring out what's best for Colorado and how does this position us for the next 5 to 10 years, because it's about positioning as well.
Last one just on Folsom. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But I didn't answer your question.
You didn't.
So the west side is something. Yeah, I know, right? We want to fix the west side.
Okay.
I mean, that's something that we need to do. I'd love to do it in partnership with the university and create some classroom space, but also have a thoroughfare for students during the day where they can pick up a Starbucks as they walk through the new renovated Balch Field House and have some quick service restaurants in there, and then have some study areas, have a club on the 2nd floor that our faculty can use on a daily basis, and then have some suites and some premium seats and a club, and I think there's a lot we can do with that. I think it will help us generate additional revenue in the future, and we all know Balch Fieldhouse is tired and it needs work, but
it has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, look, we want to fix it, we want to make it better, and then then after that, somebody will be working on the event center.
All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys worked on the sound system last year, right?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Okay. Were you
I think
happy
this
with
will
how
help
that-
it. I've heard different things from different fans. If you're right underneath the north side board, it's really loud and the sound really doesn't carry. So that's something we'll tweak and we'll look at. But I think this board will help us.
Awesome.
With college football just moving forward, going into this revenue sharing era, and just the gears are still turning, it feels like. What are the challenges that you think you'll face with that, and ultimately, where do you think this thing is headed in terms of the direction of college football?
Well, look, college football is the driving force behind all this, and so we've got to make sure that our football program's elite, and we'll focus on that. And we've got to get our fans to rally behind this. If they want a great program, we need their help. We need the businesses' help in Boulder and Denver. And we all need to come together because it's about resources and being able to build the kind of programs that we want in all of our sports. But it starts with football. They're 70% of our revenue. We got to make sure that football's great again.
All right, there he is, Rick George. Thank you so much, man. This is long overdue. And
Appreciate it, guys.
Man.
Thank you.
On behalf of Buff Nation, just thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.